Minutes ago, you can welcome bear with us for a little patience for all teammates. I'm excited about restoration. Again, just bear with another team member, teammates, you can log in. You have to show a lot of patience during this detox. And until all make a deeper than physical health. It is absolutely going to be more significant than just physical health. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. My name is Chef Solomon of Natural Branch. I'd like to welcome everyone to this season's 7-day detox. This is going to be an all liquid detox. It does not mean that we will not be consuming solid food at a certain point in the detox. Liquid detox simply means that everything that we do consume will have liquid associated to it. So you can tell that now it's not only water or only juice diet. Fruits, watermelon, cucumbers. Some of these fruits have 97% water. That's going to be good. You're going to want to consume that. With additional fiber. Sorry about that, y'all. I was trying to lower this down a second ago, but we're okay now. But so again, a liquid diet or a liquid detox does not mean that everything we consume is going to be in 100% liquid form. It means that everything we consume is going to be associated to liquid. It's going to have liquid naturally already as part of what we're consuming. Again, cucumbers, watermelons, the melon family in general has a ton of water that it has additional amounts of hydrogen and oxygen, which are going to be much more hydrating and much more electrifying than the normal H2O. Okay. So keep that in mind. We don't have to panic. We don't have to panic, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, everybody here. Julius, my brother from another. It's good to see you. It's good to have you here as part of our class. It's good to have you as part of our sponsors. And it's going to be a wonderful experience to have you here in studio. I believe it's Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Brother Julius Collins of Get Fit First Fitness is going to be in studio. He is going to, I am going to interview him a little bit for you guys so you can know a little bit about him and also allow him to share some, beneficial experience and words with us and our group so that we can capitalize on this opportunity. So Julius, welcome here. Brother Charles McBroom. Welcome, Charles. It's great to see you again and again. I really appreciate your contribution to the natural branches and to your own health process. It's amazing to see someone stay dedicated. You're a busy man. He is a dentist and he goes all around the city helping the less fortunate. In the things that they need, as far as orally. But I'm glad to have him here. Anybody here that's in the chat? I see about 11 people so far here. Drop a hello, chat. Drop a hello. Let me see who's here. Let me address you. Let me get familiar with you guys. Let me, let us start bonding in a sense, so that we can get the most and maximum out of this experience. Anita Andrews, good evening. Welcome to our live stream of our 7-day detox. We are going to get into the details and the business here in a minute, but I would like to open up here with just a few moments to get to know each other, to build a little character within the group. Because we're going to need, to lean on each other a little bit here, and we're going to need to remember each other during this process, because there are going to be challenging moments when our body is going to want to do what it wants to do on its own, and we are going to have to recognize it quickly and address it swiftly. Okay? We're going to have to recognize it quickly and address it swiftly. All right. So welcome, Anita. It's a pleasure to have you here for our week long intervention with ourselves, so to speak. I look forward to engaging and communicating, educating and informing, and God willing, inspiring some of you guys, during the detox, so that we can end up in a better place than we started. Shanae Jones, good evening. Welcome here. It's good to have you here. I'm glad that you have taken the time and the effort to come through and to familiarize yourself with the group. So welcome here. Mars Stroger, good evening, good evening. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for taking the time and the opportunity to come in and be a part of the group. We are a team. We are a team. You understand what I'm saying here? We are a team. We're going to pray for each other. We're going to wish each other well. We're going to remember each other and our commitment to each other to get this thing done. Okay, to get this thing done. So keep that in mind. This is family in here. Um, my man, the trainer of the year here, Terrence Thomas. How you doing, my brother from another? It is great to have you here. For everyone here, Terrence is also the owner of I think T-Town Fitness. They're located in Chicago, and he will be here with us, I believe, Wednesday morning at 8 a.m., sharing as well, and providing more value to us and to the program. And we will be here intently waiting for the jewels to drop so we can pick them up and apply them along our way. Okay, so grateful for that. Grateful to have all these other professionals here. I am going to we'll communicate as well via phone and via email throughout the course of the week. So no worries, and we're going to get to questions. We are going to make sure that everything is understood and everyone is comfortable at every point along the way. Starting now is when we inform ourselves. And if you don't have a pen and paper, if you want to go ahead and jot down some notes, you can. But if not, that's okay, because this live video, once it's done, it will be uploaded to the YouTube live video section where you guys can review it and take notes at that point. But nonetheless, I do want you to be attentive here, and it's better to be here than to catch it after the fact, because it allows you an opportunity to ask questions and get real-time answers and to engage the group, where everyone can get a benefit of the moment. Mr. Ben Randall, how are you doing, my brother? Life coach, entrepreneur, and definitely a financial aid to many. Ben is a great guy here. He is also one of our sponsors. I'm glad to have you here. He will be in studio as well. So this week, I'll finalize that date. We're going to send that schedule out of all of the guests and the days that they appear in an email. Be on the lookout for the emails, guys. Be on the lookout for the emails. I do communicate through emails quite frequently. I check on my emails throughout the day. There's nothing wrong with a phone call if you need, especially during the week and moments of weakness, moments of confusion, moments of frustration. Feel free to reach out, so that we can get past those quick moments and don't allow them to deceive us into giving up some ground here. So Ben will be with us this week. He has referred many people to the program, so I'm glad to see all of you guys here. And I expect a lot out of my coaches, since I got all my coaches in here and their sponsors here, as well as people just participating that were brought in through these different sources. I'm going to expect a lot out of you guys. I'm going to expect you guys to be also in communication with the team, and to present yourself as well worthy, trying to go through that program, because the best way to lead is by example. The best way to teach is by example. Okay, so even and if we're parents, then we all understand that children observe first, and then they copy. You don't have to teach them very much. You'll catch them doing things that you didn't know they were paying attention to, to. So we need to be in our childlike way and in our childlike mind, open minded, and ready to receive, and ready to apply and ready to practice. The same thing they do in the medical industry. They practice medicine, except they practice on us. Well, let us go ahead and take control of that situation, and let's practice within ourselves, and help ourselves get there. I do have a question in the chat. It says, I have some clients who smoke weed. Do they need to stop during the fast? I would prefer that there is no drugs or alcohol consumption during the fast. Alcohol consumption is a no-no, 100%, 100%. But as you guys do know, I am a owner of a herbal store, a natural branches, and we try to put everything in its proper context and its proper category. Okay, there's a lot of issue with marijuana out there today. You have to be very careful with it. There's many reports that oftentimes it's getting laced with fentanyl, which is a very dangerous chemicalized drug as well. They're using it for coloring and for aroma, and the aromatics, and they're using it for flavors and things like that, which is very concerning. Another thing is hybrid marijuana and things like that. I'm going to prefer that we don't. I'm going to prefer that you avoid the cotton mouth when you are already in the process of a fast, or that you avoid the urge to eat, because marijuana will give you an urge to eat at the same time. Or after you go to bed, after you smoke some weed and go to bed, you will wake up with a stronger desire with hunger. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, that it's not necessarily, going to help you whatsoever. It's going to make this process stronger. And in the meantime, if we are going to be cutting out foods, then we might as well cut out drugs. Let me let you know why. Foods have been embedded in us much longer than drugs have. At some point in our lives, people, we make a decision to absorb certain substances. But, at a 6-month old child with two little teeth coming out of the top of his mouth, and there's someone say, hey, he take this rice, it's soft. Hey, he can eat the bread, it's soft, it's not going to choke, it's not hard. Hey, yeah, you can have this, these mashed potatoes, you can have these mashed potatoes, you can have this gluten, yeah, you can have this starch. And it becomes addictive at a very, very young age, and we never realize it because we never even think about hesitating to eat these substances. I'm not even going to call them foods, because they don't grow out of the ground naturally. They are produced out of laboratories. Okay, they are produced out of fermentation or spoilage. Okay, so that's not something that we're going to want to be a part of this week. We're going to try to make it as easy as possible. The morning check-ins are going to be a little bit shorter. This is a little bit more in thorough, just starting off at this time. I was hoping people were in a little more relaxed state at this time, but in the morning, they're probably going to be 30 minutes to 45 minutes or so. If I need to stay on longer, I will stay on as long as needed. If anyone needs to jump off of the morning check-in, mid check-in, that's okay. Again, there will be the videos are going to be posted for you to be able to review them at a later time, or at a more convenient time for yourself. Okay, so no worries on that. Okay, so I was saying, as far as, kicking the habit of foods, we're going to speak a lot about the psychology of it, even the emotion of it, and the spirituality of it, because it's going to take strength in all of those areas for us to overcome our desire to want to consume what is known as sugar at this point, glucose. Most things are going to convert into a glucose, which basically is a medical term for sugar. So in the first few days, our first key, let me post it up here, is going to be to control your mind. In the first few days of the fast, and we're going to go through everything, just, you can only do one thing at a time, or discuss one topic at a time. But I want to start with the mind because this is where it all begins and ends, with the mind. The details, we can learn those things when we review them. But this, we have to keep our mind attentive to. Okay. There's going to be a conversation in our mind as we refrain from consuming foods and at times liquids. And this conversation is going to get louder and louder and louder and louder. And this conversation is between the you that you want to be and the you that doesn't want to let go. Okay. That's what the conversation is going to be. And it's going to get louder. You're going to say to yourself, I am committed. I am motivated. I am inspired. I am ready to conquer this. And then something at some point is going to say, I don't know about this, friend. I don't know about this. We can, just a little tiny accommodation. We don't have to do it perfectly. You're giving it a good effort. The rules to that conversation is not to have it. The rules to that conversation is to ignore it. The rules of that conversation is to correct that person swiftly in your mind, because we here are invested. I would be surprised if you guys invested in the program but are not committed to it. So we have to be committed to it. So, and we know once we make this commitment, and we've made this commitment, once we are in this commitment now, there's nothing to it but to do it. That conversation has to get shut down sharply. I'm just going to do this. No, you're not. Oh, I'm so hungry. Don't worry about it. Leave it alone. Well, we can just get a little snack. No. Oh, let me grab a bag of chips at the gas station. No. There's no conversation. Because I said so. Because you said so. Because we're doing this. Now, the body is going to respond. The body is going to respond possibly harsher than someone who is detoxing from heroin. Yeah, I've seen it, and I see it consistently. Ill feeling, stomach just grumbling, making all types of noises, a little twitch here, a little twitch there, cravings, moodiness. That is where we have to control the mind. And if you are going to be around people this week, this is nobody's fault. If moments of frustration come, it does not give us permission to become a negative influence or lash out in a negative way. Not at all. Because after a couple of days of getting through the hard times of this detox and getting into the smoother moment and the more clarifying moments, you'll be so surprised. You're going to feel so euphoric and positive. It's going to be like conquering the world, conquering a mountain. Okay? Let's look forward to that. Let's keep our hope in that. And let's check our emotions regularly. Let's not have the conversation internally or mentally. Let's not negotiate what we're doing here. Okay. Now, with that said, let me get to some of this program here. Excuse me. Are there any questions so far here in the chat? If there are, feel free to go ahead and give me a text. I mean, send it right there in the chat, and I can address it right away while we're here. Let's see if I can share that screen actually with you guys. There we go. Just bear with me, y'all. Getting things set up here. All right. All right. So if there's any questions, now will be a good time to ask. We are going to shift over into the program now. Okay. All right. I did send out an email. If anybody did not get an email, by the way, anyone who's here did not get an email, please let me know. And I will get that email out to you. I might have the wrong email. I may have made a mistake somewhere. So if you didn't get the email, let me know. Janae Jones says, my main concern is traveling later this week for work via airplane. Send me an email when you could reply to the email, but just reply to me. Don't reply to all. And send me an email. Let's find, let's get a little more context to see when that trip is, how long it's going to be for in the air, and what day we're on. And we will figure out a solution to make sure that you travel safely. That is the most important thing that we can do here is be aware for how we feel as well. That is very important. At any time, if you feel too lightheaded, out of breath, or just something that doesn't seem right, and then you feel like you need to break the fast under an emergency type of situation, I don't think eating something bad it would help the situation, but hydration probably would. Maybe depending, because if we're on a fully liquid day, and something, you feel a certain way, then maybe eating some fibers within the suggested food groups will be okay. But in the email, we do leave a little bit of room for that to discuss that. So, and I would like for you guys to communicate with me. Through email would be best because I don't want to miss a call. I want to record our communication back and forth, so I can have it there because, sometimes I get a little bit busy and I need to, do things in the pockets of time that are available to me. But with that said, I did want to read some of the email here that I sent out earlier, just so we can get on the same page. It says, welcome Detox family. We are officially here. Tonight begins our 7-day detox journey, and we're excited to have you joining Chef Solomon, our sponsors, coaches, and the entire detox community for a week dedicated to discipline, education, accountability, and healthier habits. You made an investment in yourself, and now it's time to show up. Stay committed, ask questions, and finish what you started. Now that we are live, let's see. Tomorrow, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., we will be going live every morning, probably for roughly around 30 minutes to 45 minutes. The first and last live sessions are usually the longest, and throughout the week, they're check-ins, but there needs to be engagement still emails going back and forth, phone calls being made if needed. There needs to, the education process is also part of the process throughout the week. That's, you guys are not on your own here. And I encourage you to, instead, if you're going to jot down the question, or if you mentally capture the question, go ahead and send it in the email, and let's get you educated and informed so that we can have the confidence that we need moving forward to finish strong as a team. Okay. During the morning sessions, we will provide coaching, answer questions, discuss the day's focus, and help everyone stay accountable. Part of that accountability, I'm going to ask that everyone take a private before pick. This is not something that you will ever have to send out to anyone, but I'm not saying, have clothes on or whatnot, but privately take a picture where you can see your shape though, uh, you know, and so you can use it as a reference point for when we're done with the program. Also, then that's just simply for self motivation. It's not something that you would again ever send out to anyone. That's just for you to motivate yourself and for you to have that, build your own confidence within. Also, I would like if you guys do have a scale at home, for you to take a picture of yourself on the scale, and that you don't have to share with me as well or anyone here in the group. You never have to send that out. That can remain private. If you do want to share excuse me, if you do want to share your progress and your experience, there's no problem doing that as well. We would encourage it, to help motivate and inspire others to stay on track. But again, that's not something that's going to be required. Okay. So, but in the sessions and as we communicate, there is going to be a level of accountability. I may just ask you, get on the scale. How much do you weigh right now? Let's see where we're going wrong. If this or if that, I'm anticipating everyone will lose between 7 to 12 pounds, depending on your body type. 7 to 12 pounds in the next 7 days. And that's normal. I've seen up to 15. So that's something that we see often. And then also here, let me see, whenever possible, join us live. Being present gives you the opportunity to ask questions, participate with the community, and start your day focused. Let me see. I donate plasma. It's required to eat a meal 3 hours before I donate plasma. Should I do this fast? Catherine, I am going to suggest that you forward me over an email, um, so that we can discuss that privately. I need more context. Uh, you donate every day. Eating, what is a meal? What is the definition of a meal according to the requirements of, of the donating plasma, the program that's associated to donating plasma and whatnot. So before I can answer that and give you a definite, please send me an email tonight if possible, so I can so we can address that and make a determination there. Okay. Um, but now it says, what's inside your $99 detox kit? So everyone should have received one CMOS gel pouch. Some of them vary. I didn't want to make that part taste horrendous, because there are some CMOSs that taste pretty bad. What is CMOS and why did we send out a CMOS pouch? The CMOS is actually an algae. It grows off the shores of the oceans around the world. There are variations in different species of sea moss that grow around these oceans around the world, and based on the temperature of the water and the carbon density, there's levels of potency and different antioxidant profiles for the sea mosses. So the sea moss that we use is a St. Lucian sea moss that we've been with our vendor for over 5 years and also get lab tested. So that's something that you guys don't have to worry about. We would never purchase sea moss from Asia. Unfortunately, I have to say it because there's a problem with the sea moss out there. And then also we infuse it with herbs. So like if someone got a strawberry or a strawberry mango or a cherry, there's going to be some elderberry in there. Somebody got mango, and there's going to be it's going to have a good proportion of folate, which is very good for gut cleansing. So that's why we added that. Also, the sea moss in gel form, once we consume it, it creates a mucilage that acts as a lubricator in the digestive tract, so it can help us clean out our colons and clean out our digestive tract early in the process here, so that it can get some rest. It needs to be cleaned out. It needs to not be operating for a certain amount of time, so that the organs can repair themselves, so that the cells can work, so that lymphatic system can break down toxicity and remove it from the body. Also, sea moss is going to be a lifesaver, so to speak, because it is also a multivitamin, an all-in-one, carries 92 of 102 minerals that the human body is composed of, which is also actually the same amount of minerals that the Earth's crust is composed of. 102 minerals. Kind of makes me think about from dust thou came, from dust thou return, because us and the dust of the ground have the same amount of mineral property. So, but 92 of 102 minerals is going to help not just hydrate us, but it's going to help give us the nutrition and that we need to still feel well, to still have energy, to still be able to function, and at the same time, again, creating mucilage, cleaning out the digestive tract, allowing for the removal of waste, because ultimately that is what we're doing here. We're going to be removing waste. The more waste that we remove, the more weight that we lose, the more waste that we remove. That means that waste at one point is an inflammatory substance, so it's breaking down these inflammatory substances that are stuck inside of our body, and it is pushing it into either the lymphatic system or the cells, depending on where it's located at, into the digestive tract, so it can be removed throughout the day. So even though sometimes you won't be eating solids, you're still going to be moving stool, because there's plenty stool that needs to be moved within us. Waste is waste. The only reason it comes out at a brown color at the end of the day, and we're all grown here, so don't get grossed out, but is because of the dead red blood cells that are associated to the daily cleaning and regeneration of cells. So that's why that happens, but that's not associated to the food, actually. Because some points when if you eat something and it kind of goes through you, you can see it whole, like whole grains. Whole grains are always going to stay whole through the entire digestive process. There will never break down into a stickiness or a mushiness that clogs up the body. They're always going to brush up against the intestinal walls and help clean out the colon. Not starch, though. Not starch, though. There's a big difference between whole grains and starch grains. Let's start there. That's why on the nutritional guide there is a paper on the nutritional guide. I believe. Let me see what sheet it is. Page 7 of the nutritional guide that was sent out in the emails has a suggested non-inflammatory food list, and that non-inflammatory food list will let you know that gluten or bread is not on the approved list of foods, and neither is starch. So whole grains are going to be the only grains that you would be allowed to consume. Some nuts, some seeds, some grains, but that's not going to be the focal point, and that's not going to be the even a significant amount of the consumption that we're going to be doing. Most of our foods are going to be fruits, greens, and vegetables. Keep that in mind. Okay. But with that said, again, the sea moss is going to give us the nutrition that we need for the day while removing waste, and that's why we've added it. We've also added a complete digestive cleanse herbal tea blend. May I continue my vitamin routine? You won't have to, BJ. Welcome, by the way, BJ. Welcome, Catherine. Welcome as well. Again, I'm sorry you caught me when I was kind of in the mode of everything. Getting into the session, but you You can, but you won't need to, because I doubt that the multivitamin or the vitamin routine that you're consuming is going to carry more than 92 of 102 minerals in a gel form. So it's a much more absorbable form of vitamin. Keep in mind, vitamin is the acronym for vital minerals. And when we're talking vital minerals, 92 of 102 vital minerals is what you're consuming from sea moss. So I would let the sea moss be your vitamin for the week, and actually, monitor your levels of energy. And you may say to yourself, you know what, I like this much more. I like this much more. My digestive system works better. I feel like I have more energy. I feel less this or that. But it's something that you're going to have to monitor throughout the week, and be aware and conscious of your own body and how it feels and how it's operating and the energy level. You want to be an analyst for yourself this week. This week is all about you. This week is all about you. This week, you're putting you first. That's the important part. Okay. You're putting you first. This week, you're holding yourself to the highest possible standard of expectation and excellence. And that's all you. And you have a group of people here with you, doing it with you, being accountable and holding ourselves to the same standard. The frequencies will be flowing, the connections will be made. There's no reason for us not to all be successful and finish the past the finish line hand in hand. Okay. Again, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So one complete digestive cleanse, herbal tea. A complete digestive cleanse is going to consist of about 8 different herbs. Should be listed on the package. This tea is the tea that we are going to be drinking for the week. In my experience, and my suggestion is going to be to take a full gallon of water and put it in a stainless steel pot, if possible, or a glass pot, or hopefully try to avoid the aluminum pot. We can speak on that a little bit later. Aluminum is a heavy metal. We don't want to cook things in aluminum foil, in aluminum pots, in aluminum pans. We are transferring the heavy metal of aluminum into, we were breaking it down with heat, and then obviously transferring its properties into liquid, and then absorbing it from the liquid, which is going to cause problems when you got too much heavy metal in your body. These metals get attracted to the electricity in the brain, and they start creating problems and accumulating there. And, anything from dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, different cognitive function, um, issues that you will often see in these cases. So we want to have either a stainless steel pot, or a cast iron, or a glass, or some type of earth matter, so that you can warm up your water. I would suggest to take a gallon of water, 1 gallon, 128 ounces there, and take the whole tea bag and just make the whole tea bag at one time. And then strain it out, strain it, keep the fiber, for the smoothie day. Put the fiber in the fridge, wrap it up, but you keep it for the smoothie day. So when we blend that into our smoothie to consume the fiber of the herb still. But nonetheless, we'll make the tea, strain it out, pour it back into the gallon of water that you used to steep to make the tea. Excuse me. I'm already parched, but use it. Add a little bit of garnishing flavors there. Add some agave, a little bit of agave, maybe to sweeten it just a little bit. I'm going to suggest agave and not honey. Don't. If you're going to wait till it's cold, you can put honey. But if it's going to put it in while it's warm, then you should use agave. Maybe a touch of lime juice or lemon juice. Squeeze some in there for some citrus flavor. Excuse me. I am going to grab this water. And keep in mind, by today, our first day, and we're going to run into it here in a second while I'm reading this out, is the water day. This is the day that you want to start with hydration. We want to hydrate the body, give the body all the liquid that it needs to start removing waste before we put the body through a little bit of adversity. Okay. So we did add the complete digestive cleanse. You're gonna make the tea. You can garnish it. You can put a little cinnamon in there. That's okay. We prefer that you use Ceylon cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon would be the preference, so that we can address any uh, high glucose, ratios in the bloodstream. Also, um, if you have pure vanilla extract, you can add something like that there, to your tea. The point being is it doesn't have to taste so earthy or bitter. You can, there's a few options that you have to make it bearable and even enjoyable. Okay. So once you put this tea in the refrigerator, you can drink the tea cold if you want to. There's no problem. The Once you drink it, the body is going to heat that liquid up to the internal temperature of the body of 97, 98 degrees anyways. So whether you drink it cool or whether you drink it warm, fresh or hot, fresh out of the pot, that's your preference. If you want to make the tea daily, you can. I would suggest two 16-ounce bottles of water, 32 ounces of water per day with two hefty teaspoons. It should last you the week. That actually lasts you the week if you're using those ratios. And you can make the tea daily if you want to be, into that type of routine. If that routine works for your schedule, if that routine is more convenient for you, or motivates you, or helps you, in any type of way. But sometimes some people got to get up, shower, get dressed, and go to work. And so sometimes you may not have that type of time. And we want to prep ahead so that we're not exerting too much or exerting more energy that we should be exerting throughout this process, because there are going to be moments where, again, where you're not going to feel your best. This is a detox is like a withdrawal. It's like part of a withdrawal. Some of you guys are probably going to get cold sweats. Some of you guys are probably going to teeter totter on a flu or a fever. And all you did was stop eating garbage. I don't want you to worry yourself. I want you to communicate, and then we'll assess the situation and make sure that you are in no way, shape, form, or fashion out of your comfortability. Okay. Um, and again, we've had hundreds and hundreds of people do these fasts with us, and the success ratio is high. And there have been some moments people would have to stop for something or another that we can't control, and that we rather not, push our limits on. Now, so that tea, you can make it daily, or you can just pour 24 ounces a day. If you want 24 to 32 ounces a day, if you want, you can drink it cool if you wanted to. But we are going to be consuming that tea. That tea and the herbs in that tea are designed to clean your digestive organs. Okay, they're designed to really clean them out, not just hydrate them and not just flush, but really clean and repair in there. So that's why they're important. This tea is known to break down kidney stones. This tea is known to break down fatty liver. It will definitely, it's part of cleansing the kidney and the liver and the gallbladder and the small intestine and the large intestine. So this is something that you should drink joyfully, knowing that your body it probably much needs it. Mr. Stewart said, no black coffee. I am going to be okay on coffee, black coffee, if you guys make the maximum effort to get the darkest roast possible. The darkest roast possible, whatever that may be, because everyone has different access to different things in different communities. Everyone doesn't have the same thing. So I'm going to ask that you get the darkest roast possible. Okay. Also, keep in mind that be very, very aware of how you feel if you're going to drink coffee, espresso as well. Try to get the darkest roast of espresso, Julius. If you are, you have to be extremely aware because you still need to be hydrated. Coffee is also a diuretic. Coffee also does suppress hunger, so it's good on that end, but it dehydrates. It dehydrates. It's a bit acidic, so it's going to dehydrate. So it might also give you the jitters a little bit. And hey, the jitters are okay when you can eat a Subway sandwich, to take them away. But when that's not on the table, and your body has to naturally push this caffeine out of the system, can you be patient with yourself long enough for your body to remove the caffeine out of the system to take the jitters away? Think about what you're doing before you do it, because everything that we do has consequences to it. Okay. So keep that in mind. I'll prefer, if you are going to drink a black coffee, keep it the darkest roast. There's nothing against maybe some 100% pure coconut milk. I would be okay with that if you wanted to cut it with that, or maybe a nut milk. If you wanted to make your own milk, you can also do that. Making milk is fairly easy to do. Just take about 4 ounces of Brazil nuts, or 4 ounces of hemp seeds, or 4 ounces of pumpkin seeds, or 4 ounces of cashews, or 4 ounces of walnuts. Put it in a blender. Put about 32 ounces of water, 2 bottled waters. You can add a little bit of agave in there, add a little bit of sea salt in there, add a little bit of cinnamon if you wanted to, or a little bit of vanilla extract for the flavor. You can even add a piece of a banana in there, to get a thicker consistency with the banana flavor in the milk. You blend it and blend it and blend it until it's as smooth as butter. You push it through a cheesecloth. You push the liquid through the cheesecloth, and then you cool the milk down. You're going to have 2 to 5 days with that milk, depending on how cold your temperature of your refrigerator is. Try to make sure that you keep it towards the back of the refrigerator, and the refrigerator is marking under 38 degrees for best results. And then you consume that. I consider that a liquid. I consider that a liquid if you wanted to make your own milk during this process, or use that milk to cut your coffee. You can also do that. Okay. So that is going to be good. Ben, I am looking for the moment of clarity as well. Thank you for saying that. And make no mistake about it, I am completely understanding that it will not come until my moment of reckoning first. I am going to have to face myself and the decisions that I've been making, even myself, as the owner of a health food store, as a practicing vegan, as a try to be have a ministry of health overall. There's seasons for everyone. There's seasons for everything. So there's some weaning I have to do. There's some cleansing I have to do. There is some detox that I have to do to be my best self again. And I look forward to it. So thank you for sharing that, because the moment of clarity is going to come, just not before the moment of reckoning. Until eventually we're going to have to sit there, look at ourselves, be honest with ourselves, and do what's best for ourselves. We're not going to give ourselves an out. We're not going to allow ourselves to lie to ourselves. We're not going to get that cookie at 2 a.m. We're not going to grab that bag of chips from here. We're not going to eat that from there. We're not going to snack on that from there. We're not going to cheat like that. There's no cheating in life. This what we're doing right here. You can only cheat yourself. You can only hurt yourself. And this is what we're going to find out. And everyone here is going to find out something about themselves. You're going to find out how you really feel about yourself. That's part of the spiritual growth. You're going to say to yourself, man, I'm trying to do right, and it seems like the flesh in me is trying to kill me. It's trying to get me to do wrong. It's these cravings are hard, or this conversation is significant. It's loud in my head. You're gonna have to face, and then you're gonna have to do what's best for you. And if you find yourself on the losing battle, that's a whole nother process. Then we have to be accountable and real with ourselves and say, why am I my problem? I can't. I eat when I'm stressed out. No, 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 no. You eat because you got a problem. I eat because I got a problem. There's 1,000 roots to it. Doesn't matter. We're all big boys and girls here, and it's time for all of us to have complete control of our life. One of the things about smoking marijuana, if a person can't figure out how to smoke marijuana for these 7 days, they're probably gonna maybe fall short in other areas too, because we have to know that we can control everything, that we can get everything that can complicate our goal out of the way to reach our goal. There's no reason for us to set a goal and knowingly sabotage the road to the goal with obstacles for ourselves. It's called self-sabotage. We shouldn't take part in that. We should be a little bit more kind to ourselves. We should handle ourselves with a little bit more care, with a little more thoughtfulness, a little more consciousness. So try to make it easy on yourself. People, try to make it easy on yourself. I'm not going to recommend the edible as well. Edible will probably be worse. Edible will probably be worse. But again, there's levels of strength in the spirit. So, everyone has to live with the decision that you make. Let's go ahead and see you guys do positive things for yourself so that you can know for a certainty that you have your own back when you need to have it. This is a great exercise in your life to determine how you feel about yourself. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. Everyone should have received also. And by the way, that tea, we can drink it when on the days that we're drinking tea, which we're going to break down here in a second. You can have it throughout the day. I would recommend at least 16 ounces in the morning. And then a cup in the afternoon, cup in the evening. That's fine. That works out just perfect. Okay. We're going to have 7 golden seal root capsules. The reason we added the golden seal root capsules are for the reproductive organ cleansing, for the guys, the prostate, and also, to help clear the way for testosterone and to keep your libido healthy. For the ladies, the golden seal will help clean your reproductive organs, including your ovaries, your fallopian tubes, the uterus, urinary tract, etc. And also helps remove residue, forming mass, helps clear up UTI, yeast infections, cysts, fibroids, and clear out endometriosis. Because this, and you'll be surprised if you look up online, golden seal roots powder. They got that stuff at a couple $100 a pound. They don't want people to buy it. So take advantage of the opportunity to get those we're going to get those reproductive organs cleaned out throughout the process of this detox. We also have 7 anti-parasitic capsules, and it's going to be a perfect time to take these on a regular basis because we won't be consuming gluten, starch, dairy, and meat and processed sugars, which is exactly what feeds parasites: gluten, starch, dairy, meat, processed sugars. Outside of fried foods, but those are sugars. There's the reasons why. Okay, so these parasitic capsules are combined, or they're made with Paul Diarco, black walnut hull, wormwood, and clove. So those are 4 very, very powerful antiparasitics. and they all deal with the parasites at a different stage of their lives, from the larva to full grown parasitic infection. So if there's different stages of parasites in the body, we're going to be addressing all stages of the parasites to completely eliminate them from the system. And because we won't be clogging up the system, they will be flowing through the waste, because we won't be feeding them either. And then we're going to be frustrating them with the bitterness and the antioxicity of these capsules and the herbs. And that's how these parasites are going to unlock their jaws of the calcification on the cells and inside the cells, and whatever inflammatory substance and plaque that's there that they're attaching themselves onto. And they, with the sea moss, because it's a mucilage, it helps lubricate everything so they can slip on through. So one thing that I do advise is for you to be looking at the stool every single time you use the washroom. Even starting today, how yellow is your urine? What is the consistency of your stool? Is it hardened? Is it stuck together? Is it loose? Is it, if need be, we can have those discussions. But that is the best way to know what your health is, by looking at what's coming out of your organs, what's coming out of your body. The condition of it tells you a lot. Okay. So that's something that I'm glad, and you guys should take those with joy. We also have 7 chlorella capsules associated to the detox, and they are for blood cleansing. These chlorella capsules are going to be for blood cleansing to help lower glucose levels and blood pressure, iodine levels in the bloodstream. Yes, confirming tonight, from as of now till tomorrow sundown, we can drink water. Our point is to hydrate ourselves and start softening stuff up inside, hydrating all our organs and cells, so we can start removing waste. Because even if you're at a point of constipation now, or if there's a point of that your bowels are not moving right now, that liquid will sit in there and soften things up, and eventually everything is going to come out. So we are going to be starting with 1 day of hydration. There's only one dry fast day, and it's going to be the second day. We're going to build our confidence today and tomorrow. We're not going to play mind tricks with ourselves, but we are going to only think about the things that matter and avoid the things that don't matter, because we're not going to respond to those things anyways. But we do need to dehydrate the body a little bit as well, to get dead cells out of the body, and to force the body into autophagy. So that's something that we want to do. We want to also hurry up and activate the growth hormones. So we are going to need to have a dry fast there, so that the body can start creating its own hydration mechanism inside the body, which pulls the H3O2 out and then starts feeding its own cells and getting rid of all those sugary cells, getting rid of all the deformed cells, all the radical cells, starts removing inflammatory substance that's holding up the oxygen on organs, in the arteries, in the streams and different systems of the body. Everything, even in the tumor. Once you stop feeding everything, those tumors will dry out. Cysts will deplete, and there's different masses, and so there's so many different positive possibilities when fasting. Fasting is the only form of super healing. All right. And if you really want to step it up, try a little fasting and prayer. There's nothing that you can't accomplish with some fasting and prayer. And prayer just basically means self-meditation to yourself and the higher power. So get the conversation flowing. There is a higher you and the highest you, and it wants the best for you, and it's trying to speak to you. And so that conversation, speaking back would be a great start of a conversation. Okay. We also, keep in mind, chlorella has a ton of chlorophyll. And that's why we didn't include chlorophyll, because chlorella already has a high property of chlorophyll. All right. Probably the highest of all the plants. We also did include 7 spirulina, which also contains more chlorophyll. Now, on this end, spirulina capsules are added for cell repair. There are going to be a lot of dead cells in the body. We carry trillions of cells in the body at one time, and there's so many, millions and millions, if not billions, die every day, and then more growing every day. That's why we want to eat the fast to activate and really amplify the growth hormone of all the new cells coming, and getting rid of the old messed up cells and old cells that are not working anymore because we gave them too much sugar or stuffed them with glucose, or calcified them somehow, or et cetera, et cetera. So spirulina is for the cell repair. So as these dead cells are leaving, spirulina is helping to clean the cellular disposition overall throughout the various systems of the body. And then the other capsules, that the final set of capsules we have, are milk thistle seed, and the milk thistle seed capsules are going to be for further digestive organ cleaning, specifically in the kidney and the liver, because we know how important those filtrous systems are. That pretty much dictates almost everything that goes on in the blood, how well we process waste. That's why keeping our digestive system clear is the most important thing that we can do for our health, for our bloodstream, and for our mental capacity. Think of being constipated as breaking the engine in your car. You have broken the engine of your car. Once you're constipated and you can't poop, you've broken the engine. The waste stops. You can't remove anything from the body. And depending on how long you're constipated, you can have major problems. If you're diabetic and constipated, them sugars are going to give you a hell of a time. If you have high blood pressure and you're constipated or dehydrated, you're going to be struggling with that. Okay? If you're, let's see, there's a couple of other examples that I can probably think of. As far as how it can affect you. If you're diabetic and you're constipated, yeah, them sugars will hit the roof. They will hit the roof. And if your immune system is not really up to par and you consistently get constipated, I'm pretty sure you're always sick. You're always nose running. You're always coughing. You're always spitting something up. Let's get past that. Let's get past that adolescent phase, stage. Let's be completely responsible for our intake. You'll know what you wear tomorrow. You'll know what your plans are for next week. You got a concert for 2 months from now and a vacation 3 months from now. But if I told you what you eat in the morning, you wouldn't know. As if what goes inside of your body is not more important than what the outside of your body experiences. Imagine that. As if the brain doesn't work better when it's healthy. Come on now. We got to get it together, people. We got to get it together. And that's why we are here. And that's why I'm sharing with y'all. All right. So the capsules are provided as part of the 7-day program. Please follow the daily guidance provided with the products and during the program rather than take them all at once. I will be sending out an email before the evening is over. You don't have to take a look at it this evening, but for the morning time, you will take a look at it, and then I will break down the actual regiment day by day, product by product, for the rest of the fast. So you're going to have that there. Bookmark or pin those emails, please, or print them out. Keep them in your purse. Keep them in your car. Keep them in your back pocket. Let's make this the focal point and the priority of our week, and let everything around us feel the benefit of the love that we're giving ourselves, and the focus that we're giving ourselves, and the attention that we're giving ourselves, and the awareness and thoughtfulness and courtesy and discipline that we're giving ourselves. Let everyone benefit from your experience. Okay. Day one. Oh, real quick disclaimer. And let me make clear this disclaimer. I added as a reference, and because I need to, but I do want some context here. If you take prescription medications, are pregnant or breastfeeding, have diabetes, kidney or heart problems, have a history of eating disorders, or any medical condition that could be affected by fasting or herbal supplements, please consult your health care professional before participating. I will say that statement is a Western medical culture statement. One, if you take prescription medications, that's what you need to be aware of, the prescription medications, because herbal supplements are going to naturally purge out chemicalized medications. Anything that inorganically infuses our bloodstream is going to get pushed out by the body's reaction and lymphatic response and the immune response automatically. That's why they can infuse you with a sedative and say you're going to be numb and won't feel anything for 4 hours. Why 4 hours? Because it takes 4 hours for the body to get it together and push it back out of the bloodstream. That's why. Because they're basing it off of the body's ability to fight against the medications. And that's why all the medications have side effects for the most part. If they have any type of chemical agents or any type of unnatural agent or binding agent, it probably has a side effect. That's how they get us in the loop. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you should not, absolutely should not be participating in this fast. If you're breastfeeding or pregnant, you should not be participating in this fast. Now, if you're breastfeeding or pregnant, you can definitely apply plenty parts of the program into your daily regimen, like eating more greens and fruits and vegetables, juicing regularly, staying hydrated. There are some herbal teas like fenugreek seeds that are good for increasing the quality of lactation in breast milk, etc. So, but if there's anybody who is pregnant or breastfeeding, please reach out to me so that we can be safe of evolve and at least find you an alternate way to keep your health at a high level. But if you're pregnant, your baby needs the nutrition, and we cannot afford to be detoxing the body when the body needs to be plenishing with nutrition consistently. If you have diabetes, this is exactly what you need. Let me just be clear about that. If you have kidney problems, this is exactly what you need. Let me be clear about that. If you have heart problems, this is exactly what you need. Let me be clear about that. You are reducing the stress on the body and only picking up the stress in the mind. All you're going to be doing is fighting mentally. The plan is to not allow the body to do nothing to hurt itself. Sparkling water is okay. Spring water is okay. Sparkling water is okay. Yep. Sparkling water is okay. Carbonated water is okay. If you have a history of this eating disorders, this is exactly what you need. You know what I'm saying? Controlling your appetite. There's a book that calls it gluttony. Controlling your urge for the body to do what it wants. Controlling your members. Some people be in a store and their hand grabs the bag of chips and they ain't even realized the hand was moving. They thought their hand was in the pocket. They're so unaware of what your body is doing. They have to be aware of what you're thinking first and foremost. Okay? But if you have this eating disorder, this is a great way to break that habit, because you won't be eating for at least for a period of time where you have to show mental fortitude and discipline. If there are medical conditions, please reach out to me. For the most part, this is still safe when someone is undergoing medications and whatnot. We just have to know the context of it so that we can work around the medication without disturbing it and going from there, okay? But there are definitely safe ways to implement healthy habits, even if you're stuck in the medical industry's grip. So to assume and to think that just because I am being treated by the Western medicine, I have to be careful with what God made naturally. That is opposite. That is wrong. We need to be weary of what God didn't make. And we need to trust the Most High that what He made is good for us. And I believe that natural foods and organic foods and well-crafted foods are good for us. They can sustain us and expand our life beyond our imagination to a certain extent, at the very least. So, real quick though. So, once now that that's situated and addressed, the 7-day game plan. Day 1 is going to be a water fast. Our opening phase focuses on water and stepping away from solid foods. Hydration matters. Listen to your body. Don't push through concerning symptoms. Simply to complete a fast, make sure you communicate with us. If you're feeling a little too parched and you feel like drinking liquids is not helping your parchment. I don't know if that's a word, by the way, parchment. Maybe parching, maybe parchness. I don't know. But anyways, we are going to be hydrating. We're going to be hydrating the cells, hydrating all our organs as much as we could. Not as much as we could. You don't have to drink a whole gallon throughout the day, but you do want to keep water around for that. Every time you say, man, here goes the little hungry thing, you tell yourself, shut up. There's no reason to think about it and talk about it because we already made our decision. We're committed. So nothing is going to change. We're going to stay hungry. So let me just go ahead and get some of this water and settle my stomach a little bit and take those thoughts out of my head. And that's how you move forward. You give very little attention. You give it very little energy. You give those thoughts very little energy. Thank you, Parched. Thank you. So you give it very little energy though. Okay. You're not going to have a war mentally every single time you get hungry and you remind yourself that you can use some food. It should not be a all out, blown out war every time. At some point, you have to punish the child in you like you would punish your own child. Don't be so soft on you. Okay? Don't create more bad habits. We have to, we got to get past a certain stage at a certain point. Food is not going to rule us anymore. Okay. So hydration is the focal point of day 1, making sure everyone starts hydrated as we work on the mind and work on the message, work on our confidence, and start preparing ourselves for a clash. That clash is going to come in day 2, where you are going to tell yourself, it's best just not to open my mouth for the whole day. I might as well just refrain from talking if I could. I'm only going to say what's needed. I'm only going to say something that needs to be said. And I'm just going to keep my mouth closed. That's what a fast is. To fast close or to fast shut, but to shut fast. This is going to be a significant day for you because this will activate your autophagy, your growth hormone increase, and it will prepare your body for excellence. For excellence. After the day 2, everything gets easier. All we have to do is get past day 1 of all liquids, get past day 2, no food, no water. We're going to keep it shut down. Can't trigger high blood pressure if you ain't bringing in anything iodized. Can't trigger high glucose readings if you're not eating cookies and cream. You're actually going to trigger insulin sensitivity and start getting your feeling back. Okay? So, and I have plenty of research. Anybody who wants me to share some research from scientists and doctors and surgeons, medical professionals, even in Western medicine, that don't agree with Western medicine and have proof. They have running national clinics today, and they treat their patients with a foundation of fasting. Okay. So day 2, That's the day rubber meets the road. But we're not going to have that conversation. We're going to stand strong. That day we come out with our armor, all our armor on. We're going to work through that day. Okay, important. Going to an extended period without fluids can cause significant dehydration. It will cause dehydration. We are dehydrating the body for a reason, but we're not supposed to exert ourselves physically to the point where it causes a problem. We should do everything smoothly on that day. Don't overdo anything on that day. On that day, only, for those who are experienced and know how and can work and can be active with that, dehydration. Because, listen, I'm a part of groups that we fast throughout the year, and every year for over 20 something years now, 26 years now, I've been fasting. So, things are not as hard for me at certain times, but, I've been to the gym when I was fasting. I've done fasts where I was tired at the end of the fast. I've done fasts where I was more energized at the end of the fast. It all depends on, the circumstances and the season and whatnot. So I lead an all-day leadership team retreat on day 2. All right. All right. So, well, we're going to lean on the spirit then, baby. BJ, we're going to lean on the spirit. We're going to, let me tell you something. During this fast, that's where the clarity comes. If you got something to say it while you're fasting. Watch how different it feels. Watch the newness of message and how your brain puts that message together differently. How your brain engages you differently when your body is not consumed with waste and your body is empty and clear and hydrated, well, to a certain extent, because you're hydrating the day before. But once you're emptying that body out, that brain's going to start getting real clear. If you're a witty person, watch how witty you are. If you're a funny person, watch how much funnier you get. If you're a creative person, the levels of creativity you cannot imagine. There's so many different ways that the feeling of fasting can just reach euphoria if you discipline yourself and don't respond to the fake cries in our mind, because the bugs inside of us and the worms inside of us and the bacteria inside of us and the viruses inside of us and all the things inside of us that are eating off of us and eating us to live, they know their time is short. Sure is. Their time has come. It's time to have a deeper breath of fresh air. It's time to wake up on the right side of the bed. It's time to see things from a positive point of view. It's time to grow. It's time to change. It's time to rise. That's why we do this as a community. This is how we help each other. Even in the trenches. We know society doesn't want us to do this in a large scale. But we got to do what we can, where we at, when we can, with who we can. Okay? I kind of already broke down as far as the fasting. If anybody has any concerns or feeling any type of way, you reach out to me. Now, day three, after we're done with that dry fast and we feel like we've conquered the world, we are going to actually enjoy day 3 very much. We're going to start that day with water. We're also going to consume some tea, and then we're going to consume some electrolytes. I'm going to suggest some fresh coconut water. If you can grab a couple coconuts, throw them in the fridge, before day 3, that'll be great. Crack them open and consume them. If you can't find some fresh coconuts with some water in them, and go ahead and try to get you some 100% organic coconut water that has 100% coconut water with no sugar added in the coconut water. Try to make sure that it's in a glass jar or a paper type of container. You can also juice, if you have a juicer, juice some fresh watermelon juice or some cucumber juice. I would probably say those two would be the most hydrating out of the juices there. And we're going to do these in order. We're going to do that for the rest of the program outside of one day. We're going to be starting the day with about 8 to 16 ounces of water. We're going to shift into our tea, shift into our electrolytes before we shift into the actual solids. Okay. Anita, you're going to do great. I am confident you are going to do great. And I am confident if this is your first time that you are probably going to have probably the biggest breakthrough. There's probably something that's been weighing your brain down for a while, and all of a sudden it's just gonna click, and you're gonna be like, "What? I can I figured it out." Because when your body is unclogged and oxygen can flow and blood flow can flow and liquids can flow and you can remove waste and everything is working properly, everything works better up here. You know. So I'm very excited for you. You're gonna do fine. You're gonna do fine. You got some you got some experienced people in the group that have come back, and you have some experienced trainers that definitely have dietary control. You reference to a page 6 of some packet. Where can that packet be found? I don't see anything in the emails that I received. And the first email that I sent off, I sent a secondary email behind it that should be connected to that first welcome email. So if you go back to that first welcome email, you should see a second email under there with a PDF file of the packet. Okay, and it should be page 7, I believe it is, of the packet. And worst case scenario, if you don't have it, if you don't see it for whatever reason or don't see the email, I will resend. I know I did. I know I put your mail in. I hope I just didn't put the wrong email. So we'll get to the bottom of it here shortly. Okay. No worries. No worries. And Kristen, by the way, everyone, this is Kristen. It says BFFO Livia Beta version. She is one of our life coaches as well. She is also Ben's lovely wife. They are a tag team duo, like Batman and Catwoman or something like that. You know. So they're doing a great job being a positive role models and positive influences, and always trying to share new positive things with everyone. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it. I got you. That's Olivia. Olivia, her daughter's name. That's a lovely name. Olivia's a lovely name. Absolutely. It reminds me of olive oil from what's his name? Popeyes. Olivia. I think it was Olivia, something like that. But it's a lovely name. This is Christian. Yes, gotcha. So everybody that is Christian, by the way. So we got people here. We got people tuning in, and I'm glad to see some outcome here. I know there's some people who have to catch it on the rebound because they're at work and whatnot, but I'm sure everything will get out. So on day 3, keep in mind we're going to be starting with spring water. We're going to move into the tea, how I suggested that you make it in the video. You can always go back to review the video for any information that you want to reiterate if you're not taking notes now. And then you'll go into the electrolytes, and then that'll be day 3. Okay. You can drink water throughout the day again after the electrolytes. You can drink more tea again after the electrolytes, and you can drink more electrolytes again. It all depends on how you feel. If you feel like you want to cleanse, and then grab some water so you can induce bowel movement. If you feel like, hey man, something feels good, I want to really deep clean, and drink some more tea, get some more of that antioxidity inside of your body, working those organs and breaking those organs down. And also, if you feel like, hey, I feel like I need a little bit more energy right now. I'm not necessarily dehydrated, but I feel a little bit tired. And I still have to exert some energy. Drink some coconut water. Trust me, when you're fasting, coconut water tastes real sweet. Fresh watermelon juice tastes real sweet. Okay. Even some fresh, pure apple juice, not from concentrate. Okay. So keep that in mind. And again, don't worry about the capsule schedule. I'm going to be sending that out in the final email of the evening so that you guys will have that there moving forward for the week. Okay. This is what you think about. Day 4, we are going to simplify it. And this is where your solids come in. We're going to use solid food that contains high amounts of hydrogen and oxygen, and hydrating foods that help break and use their fiber to help brush our organs like a broom. Okay. So after you have hydrated yourself and softened things up inside your body and softened up calcification and turned down your digestive tract and let your organs rest, after you've drunk some tea, I mean, after you've dry fasted and just allowed your body to remove waste and remove dead cells and remove everything initially from the program that it's going to be removing, and then you come back and then hydrate it and add a ton of antioxidants of the herbs, softening up more calcification, softening up more plaque in the body, softening, different residues or different hardening substances inside the body. It's going to be much easier for the fibers to clean those things along, because some of them are going to be sticky still, some of them are going to be stuck to the cell, some of those worms are going to be stubborn. So these fibers are going to help brush up against the cells, brush up against the intestinal walls, the lining of the intestines, brush up against the colon, and help pull and grab and take out as much of the old calcified waste as possible. Which is we're using foods to clean our colon. We're using foods to clean our body. We're using food as medicine. With the nutritional guide, keep in mind we have the non-inflammatory food list on page 7. Stuart, I will send over the nutritional guide here shortly after the live. Once I'm off, I'll send that over to you. Everything that I'm discussing right here is going to be that's in the email, and then the nutritional guide is going to have the non-inflammatory food list, and it's also going to have like tips and stuff. But most of the stuff I'm going to review here, that's really going to be a backup for you. But the nutrition guide is something that you're going to want to keep an eye on, so that you can only purchase foods and consider foods that are within the nutritional guide that are non-acidic. Okay, we don't want putting acid in the body when the body is trying to clean itself and electrify itself. We don't want to start putting acid in the body, okay, because it's only going to break down the electromagnetism or the electricity or the alkalinity of the body. We don't want that. We want to try to be above the 7.0 pH level, which is the potential hydrogen level. That's what pH balance stands for, potential hydrogen. Okay, I'm going to get an email together after this, and I'm going to send that PDF file to everyone in a fresh email. So no worries, everyone will get the nutritional guide here shortly. Once I'm down, I will send the PDF file when in the email I send. That's going to break down the capsule form, so you'll have everything there together in the next email for the evening. Okay, I'm not going to overdo the emails like that, but in the beginning there are things to read, things to familiarize yourself before I am vocal about it. No worries. I'm still going to send a group email, but thank you, Anita there. So we're going to do the liquids. So this is going to be the way we do this. Okay. This is our game plan for day 4, 5, 6, and 7, I believe. Except I am probably going to throw a monkey wrench in there for day 7, okay? Just letting you guys know. I'm probably going to change day 7 to an all-water day just to clean out, and then we can get back into that, or probably day 6, and then get back into this diet for day 7, so that you're not coming off the 7 days damaged. Okay, so it's something that I was thinking about a little bit earlier. But our daily program is going to be liquids until 12 p.m. I just discussed the liquids with you, the waters, the herbs, and then electrolytes. Then we're going to do fruits until 2 p.m. Fruits until 2 p.m. On day 4, you're going to be eating some good old fruits. I would suggest, though, smoothie it up, create some soft blended fiber to really help clean everything out and to minimize the digestive assistance that you need. Keep those organs as shut down as possible. Just because you can eat a little bit right now doesn't mean that we want to turn the clock on and keep those digestive organs on all day long. We'll be intermittent fasting for the rest of the fast. We're only going to be eating for a period of 6 hours a day, from 12 o'clock to 6 p.m. That's what the time frame that we can eat, and we're going to be limited to certain foods. All the foods have to have liquids, so only approved foods for this This specific fast is going to be the fruits, the greens, and the vegetables. If you want whole grains, nuts, or seeds, they have to be turned into some type of liquid. So you have to blend them up. You have to, add them to something, to a smoothie or whatnot. I don't just want you eating a whole bag of nuts, or a whole, or two bowls of wild rice, because even though they're healthier foods and they're foods that are removed from the body, they're going to slow down your digestive process. And right now, we don't want to put these even whole grains in the body because we're trying to push everything out of the body. We're in waste removal mode, and we're going to be consuming these fibers, these fruit, these greens, and these vegetables from the approved list, but they're, by default, they're going to break down into liquid fibers and they're going to help clean the body out. They're not going to necessarily make you feel full. They will make sure that you are fulfilled with what you need and you are hydrated, but they're not meant to make you feel full. You still have to control your hunger at times, okay? What we're looking for is the feeling of quenching your thirst. That's what we need to move hunger to, a quench of thirst. So it's like, oh, I'm so hungry. No, I just want to feel like I'm hydrated. I want to feel the liquid flowing through my body. I want to feel great. That's the sensation that we're going to be looking for during this week. We're not necessarily going to be saying, I'm going to have a bowl this big of avocados. You know what I'm saying? Now, avocados are okay. They'll help the digestive flow, and they have good fats. But you can always do too much of anything. Can be a little bit dangerous if you do too much of it. I'm sure you can't eat 30 pounds of avocados and think everything's just going to be dandy. You're probably going to have uncontrollable bowel movement, possibly. I'm just saying. So again, reiteration, liquids until 12, fruits until 2 p.m. I'm going to recommend melons and berries as a foundation every day. Melons and berries. Yes, you can have apples. Yes, you can have mangoes. Yes, you can have pineapple. Be careful with the pineapple. It's a bit acidic. If you're going to do orange, try to do a blood orange, because they have seeds, by the way. The rule is if you are going to eat something, it has to have a seed at the minimum. It has to have a seed. No unseeded anything. Cantaloupes are okay. Honeydews are okay. Cucumbers are okay. Papayas are okay. And by the way, if you guys want a binder for the anti-parasitic capsules, if you want to use a natural binder, papaya seeds unchewed, because they have a magnetism about themselves that remains as long as they remain whole. Okay? So papaya seeds unchewed will help pull parasites out of the body as well. So just keep that in mind. Just a helpful tip on the side. You can apply it when needed. But again, the melon family and the berry family, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, also cherries, also grapes, seeded, preferably red globe grapes, seeded. Do not eat unseeded food. Seeds are what provides the nutritional profile for the food. If it doesn't have a seed, then the nutritional profile is something that was injected into it, which is an unnatural occurrence. Hence, unorganic. It's not a natural beginning. Okay. And knowing these people, it's going to cause problems, and it usually is. It's probably going to trick the body into redefining what healthy is. Just like if you do heroin every single day for a month, the body is going to think it needs it. And if you try to stop, it's going to force you, and you're going to go through a withdrawal because the body says, no, you've already accustomed me to it. I need it at this point, So that's why we want to eat real foods, because when we eat things that are not even food, but we call foods that are unhealthy for us, they kind of play with your DNA in a sense, genetically modified organisms, our cells are trying to read information. We're trying to, so when things get in there, and the body's being tricked, the body all of a sudden changes a code, so to speak, and and it thinks it wants this, but that's really toxic for it. And that's why, again, going through a withdrawal, like a drug withdrawal, is so difficult because the body fights against it because you've conditioned the body already. So, we have conditioned the body way more with food than we probably have with those type of substances. So this is, something to be aware of. You are a formidable opponent. Don't underestimate the slick you mentally, emotionally. Don't underestimate you. Don't let yourself trick yourself. And you don't use anyone for a crutch either. Don't, no one is going to be for blame for your hardships. We're going to take accountability if things happen, and we're going to get right back on track. We are going to do this with dignity, with some pride and effort. We're not just going to be part of something that doesn't matter. It matters to me that you do well. So keep that in mind. Fruits until 2, melons and berries. Greens until 4. On day 4, nothing cooked. Day 4 is a raw day. It's a day of raw foods. You can eat all the foods, but they have to be raw. Fruits, greens, and vegetables in raw form. So you can have salad. You can have different salads. You can put some balsamic, oil-based, dressing on it. Nothing creamy, nothing that has yeast or nothing like that. Okay. And you can have a hefty amount, but nothing cooked on day 4. We want to bring all of that hydrogen and oxygen from our food in our bodies. We do not want to add heat to any of our food on this day because we do not want to change the molecular structure of our food to minimize and deplete us from the vitamins that we desperately are going to need at this time. Cooked food, hot food feels good, but it gives you less. Okay? So there's going to be a time, day 5, rock out and go ahead and get you some nice sturdy greens, some collard greens, some turnip greens, some mustard greens, some cabbage, and cook it out. Cook it out. Throw some veggies in there, and then when you're done, drink the pot liquor. But not on day 4. On day 4, we're doing raw foods only. Raw foods only on day 4. Super chew everything too. Everything that you eat, chew it well. Chew it well. Minimize the amount of work that your digestive system has to do in breaking your food down. Use your teeth to eat and to speak. Okay? One thing that's going to be important, with that said, is controlling your breathing throughout the day. I'm going to prefer you keep your mouth closed and breathe deeply into your nostrils with calm and deep breaths throughout the whole day. Absorb as much oxygen into your nostrils as possible throughout the whole day to make sure you're not getting lightheaded in any way. Sometimes people can panic. You don't even have to be fasting. You can be in the gym. We have trainers here that can attest to it. You can be in the gym, not breathing properly as you're lifting weights or exerting a very difficult workout, and you begin to hold your breath, straining, and you're holding your breath, and all of a sudden, pass out. You pass out because you're exerting all this energy, and you're not releasing the appropriate oxygen with it to carry it along. So breathing through your nose deeply all day long. Just if you can only breathe through one side, give it a day or two. It's going to clear up. All that stuff is going to come out. Blow your nose regularly. It's going to come out, and you're going to be breathing through both your nostrils. But throughout the day, breathe as much as you can through your nostrils. Deep breath through your nostrils. You can breathe out your mouth as well, but just get in the habit of not having to open your mouth. Those days I used to jog 10 miles without opening my mouth. 10 miles. Maybe I average of 7 to 8 minutes a mile. And without opening my mouth, I'll change the pace, change my breathing. Then I'm doing, then I'm back. And I work it out. Breathing control is very important through this process. And then after the greens until 4 o'clock, we're going to do vegetables till 6. Mushrooms are going to be highly suggested. Avocados are also going to be highly suggested for to add in the vegetables. And for the rest of the vegetables, you can take a look at the vegetable list: amaranth greens, callaloo, different greens. Again, we're avoiding the whole grains. So even though you'll see a list of whole grains in our non-inflammatory food list, that is a non-inflammatory food list. That's just letting you know what foods are non-inflammatory, but it doesn't mean that those foods are all going to go with this fast. We're going to follow this regimen right here that we're speaking of: liquids till 12, fruits until 2, greens until 4, and vegetables till 6, not whole grains until 6. Okay. Zucchini, squash, watermelon, tomatoes, tomatillos, cherry tomatoes, string beans, squashes, pumpkins, aramays, dulces, wakame, all types of deep sea vegetables, including seaweed like sea moss. So you have a plenty options to choose from as far as the vegetables here. So do not fret whatsoever. Do not fret. Everything that's coming to you is going to come to you at the appropriate time. And if you discipline yourself, you're going to appreciate it much more when it gets there. It's going to benefit you and take you much farther when you get it. Then we prepare for the next day, moving forward together. The purpose isn't simply to make it through the 7 days. We want you to become more intentional about what you consume, when you consume it, and the habits surrounding your food choices. You are not doing this alone. There will probably be moments when your old routine starts calling your name. And that's why we're doing this together. We will be coaching throughout the week, answering questions, helping participants stay focused, and encouraging one another to finish strong. There is no mental negotiations with what commitments that we have made. You made a vow, keep the vow. It stands as a testament of your character. And I am, for one, sure the type of person that cannot deal with someone who cannot trust themselves. You have to show yourself to be trustworthy, to be trusted. If you can't be honest with yourself and give yourself the maximum effort, who am I in your life? Who am I? And who is everyone else around you? If you're not going to be honest with yourself and give yourself the maximum effort here, how can you trust yourself around other people? That you'll be responsible with them when you're being irresponsible with yourself. So let's not entertain that. We're coming out, boom, 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 ready to go, ready to fight, strong. We know adversity is coming. We know obstacles are coming. We know they're going to come in a form of people that have nothing to do with what we're doing. There are going to be powers that be that are going to use ignorant and naive and uninvolved people to bother you and bother your system and trip you up and stumble you in one way, shape, form, or fashion where you're not putting the best of you out while you do this. That is not an option. You recognize that and you change their day. They come with negativity and you give them positivity. Make it your job to turn their day around, even with all the things you got going on inside of you, all the character that builds, the quality of person you become when you practice those things on a regular basis. Praises. We've already made the decision. At the end of the day, we are simply going to honor it. Everyone here, if you can please like the feed. And every time that we come on, please like the feed. And one of the reasons I need you guys to like the feed while we're live is so that YouTube can see that in the algorithm and expose our page to other pages like ours so we can grow our community. It's very important to like the video on YouTube so that YouTube can start sharing it with people who have similar pages or are looking for similar content. Next thing you know, we'll have 300 people here, 3,000 people here. Next thing you know, we're doing a health tour. Listen, I go for the gusto. I believe that when you put positive out, you cannot hold the positive that's going to come back. You cannot even handle it to the point where you have to give it away because it's going to be overwhelming and overflowing. Okay, so please like and make sure you subscribe so that you get the notifications ahead of time that we'll be going live, just in case you're in a hectic or busy moment throughout the day, or even, something, more important than that. And, that you can have the reminder there to go back and to watch the lesson if you are found yourself in a position where you can't make it. Okay. So please subscribe to the page that you're watching this on right here, youtube.com at the Natural Branches Live. And please like the feed. And every time that we come on, let's go ahead and like the feed so that we can try to find other people in our community. Okay. And then for the rest of the week, it's going to be 8 a.m. In the last email that I'm going to send this evening, it's also going to have the schedule for the interviews. I did mention a few of them, but we've had since situated the rest of them. So we'll be sending those out for you. Okay. And we are going to get it going. 7 days of accountability, 7 days of making conscious, intentional decisions, 7 days to challenge who you are. We're looking forward to seeing you accomplish your goal. And we're here with you. Get your kit ready, get your liquids ready, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, get your mind ready, get your spirit ready for a challenge. You can make this an easy fight, or you can make it hard on yourself. Listen to your coaches. Get your rest. Relax. Usa. Shama. Take it easy. We're going to flow through this. Okay? We're not going to let things easily trigger us. Those are the fights that we can meddle in. The fights in our mind against ourselves. Everyone else this week, they get grace. Everyone else this week, you pardon their transgression, their ignorance, their attitudes, their behaviors. This ain't about everybody right now. This is about you. And we have decided as a group here that this is about us together. We're on this island together. We got 7 days and no one's getting off this island. We're going to do whatever we can to help each other. But we're going to do this together. That is guaranteed. All right, now. With that said, are there any additional questions while we're here right now? Is there any additional question? Yes, we will walk together, Julian. Absolutely. Let's go, family. Absolutely. I am very motivated about it as well. I want you guys, if there's additional questions, now will be a great time to pop them in there. If you think about something a little bit later, you can either jot it down and ask at tomorrow's live session, or if it's pertinent, send me an email. And as soon as I get to the email, as soon as I'm consciously aware that the email is there and I can read it, I will respond to it upon opening and reading the email. Okay. But outside of that, it looks like we had some pretty good engagement. I'm about 2 hours in. I don't want to hold you guys up any further because we need to get some rest. Uh, I will get started on the email that I'm going to send out. Keep in mind, it's going to have the capsule regiment on there for the mornings. It's going to give you a little bit more information. I'm going to resend out the PDF file to everyone just in case of the nutritional guide. I'm also going to break down the weekly interview schedule with all of our sponsors. Make sure that you get in here and join. We're going to go through a couple stretches, maybe, go through some tips and routines. It's not going to necessarily just be speaking. We're going to, the team that I have here, they are professional and they care about what they do and they're about that business. And when you see some of these guys, you're going to say, wow, these guys are in shape. These guys doing their thing. Sure are. Sure are. My friends are cool. Sure are. Yep. Yep. These my friends. Yep. This my team. You dig? Hey. I love it. I love it. I love it. So with that said, I don't see any questions here. Just want to give you anybody a quick moment. If anybody wants to go ahead and log off, feel free to log off. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your night. If anyone is formulating a question, I will stay on for a few minutes longer just to allow you time to type out your question and put it down there. And then if I, once I see the viewership go down and I realize that a question may not be answered, then I will end the stream and then we will move on into it. Everyone, I need you to rest well. Keep in mind, you're only drinking water. Some of you guys have had midnight snacks for a long time, and you're not going to have one tonight. Some of you guys like to drink certain, substances at night, and you're not going to have one tonight. The following check-ins are going to be 30 minutes to 45 minutes, ideally in the morning. If you guys need to jump on and jump off as needed, that is understood. The whole point is to make sure that you follow up and revisit every session so that you can get updated on all of the information, and you can, also get fed, so to speak. We're not going to be eating traditional foods this week, but we are going to be being fed information, inspiration, and other things that are going to be beneficial to consume. But if they need to go a little longer, they will. If they need to be a little shorter, if there's no reason to keep it too long, then I'll probably be in and out in the mornings. But we are going to have interviews, so I'm pretty sure they're going to go for a little while. Again, you guys are not obligated to. There's not a punishment for logging off a little bit early. But I will see you guys in the morning. For those of you who are logging off, peace, my brothers, and peace, my sisters. If there are any questions, I'm still here for them. So no worries, okay? There's no obligation to stay on any longer if you don't want to. Outside of that, I'm just going to wait on a few questions. Let's go, family. All right. Seems like we're motivated again tonight. Some people might have trouble sleeping tonight. The worms is gonna be like, I want a snack. I want a snack. Don't do it. Don't do it. We should have. We should be strong in the spirit right now because it's beginning. Then we work on our endurance. We should be strong in the spirit right now. All right, all right. Good night, everybody. Feel free to give us a good night if you're gonna log off. But it's not required, ladies and gents. All right, all right. Hey, 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 throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. We're gonna be healthy. We're gonna extend our life. We're gonna get another 10 years. We're gonna avoid all the illnesses. Mm-mm-mm. Do I take the VIT tonight? No, we're not going to be taking anything this evening, Catherine. What we're going to be doing this evening is hydrating ourselves with some water and just getting some rest and allow the digestive system or the lymphatic system to collect waste tonight so that we can remove it tomorrow. rehydrate ourselves tomorrow throughout the day, and just we're going to be focused on removing waste tomorrow. That's going to be the idea and the goal tomorrow. And then we're going to counter that with the opposite negative reaction of consuming. So every time we think about eating, we say to ourselves, no, I'm not going to start. I done worked all night to empty this waste. I done woke up, I done hydrated myself, I done pooped, I done peed, I done spit out, I done blew my nose, I done got all this waste out of my body. I'm not gonna put some more waste in there right now. It's gonna be counterproductive. And then by the time you get up tomorrow, you're already gonna be, you know what I'm saying, halfway in day one. We're gonna be approaching day two. At sundown, when the sun go down tomorrow, that's considered the beginning of day two. Even though it's the evening, according to the Circadian rhythm of the earth, the evening in the morning is the first day. And according to the Bible, even in the morning is the first day. The day ends when the sun goes down. So the cycle begins in the evening, not in the daylight. That's observable. That's something that we observe. I'm just throwing it out there. But so tonight is going to be liquids. I am going to check my emails as soon as I get off here, which I will be in about another minute. For any questions, concerns, and engagement and communication from the team. All right. And with that said, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. I'm excited to be one of the leaders of the program, and I'm excited to be a wonderful follower of my colleagues and my sponsors and teammates as well. Shalom, shalom, and God willing, I will catch you in the morning or your best to get some rest. Peace.